What is the best way for senior golfers to hit their driver further? Today we're meeting up with PGA Professional Jack Backhouse to find out. Okay, we've done a few driver instruction stuff recently, but lots of people have asked for specific technique for senior golfers. So what have you got for me?
Seniors have a very specific set of issues in that they're probably losing strength, losing mobility, they're getting stiffer and stiffer and generally shorter and shorter. If I'm teaching a senior and they come and they're desperate for distance and they don't care about anything else, which is probably the right way to approach it, I think the first thing you've got to do is all of the preconceived ideas you've got about the swing, you've got to stick them in the bin because they don't apply if you're getting old and you're looking for more distance. Ultimately, unless you're really strong, like Jon Rahm, which I've never met a senior like Jon Rahm, and you've got a short swing, but you're really strong, you need length of swing to generate speed. So everything you do and everything you practice should be about trying to lengthen the swing, because more length equals more speed. So generally the first thing I'll do with people is I have them stand with their feet closer together and I get them to turn the toes out, because with a narrow stance and toes that are turned out, you can turn your hips a lot further than if you stand with a nice wide solid base, which you might teach a younger person, because we need the freedom of movement to be able to get the club moving back as far as possible.
It's almost like you're promoting a bit more of the turn coming from the hips rather than just from the upper body.
Yeah, absolutely. Again, binning everything that we think we know, coil, feeling that stretch is all no good for all guys or gals, because it's too restrictive. We need, as I say, freedom of movement. So narrow stance, toes turned out, and then as you're turning back, I'd be thinking about trying to turn the hips as much as possible. I'd be trying to lift up the left heel, because again, that allows you to turn even further back. A big one that's going to freak a lot of people out is I would get you bending your left arm. The left arm staying straight makes it easier to strike the ball cleanly, but if you think about your arm as a lever, if it's straight, it's not generating any power, but if that bends, that sort of A, allows you to swing longer, but B, sort of straightening that arm should give you a little bit more whip at the bottom. But people don't like that because they've been taught forever to keep their arms straight. Something else I try to get people to do that also freaks them out is I want your eyes moving with the ball through impact into your finish. I definitely don't want anyone keeping the head down. If you think about it, keeping your head down is basically like turning your head to the right. And as we get older, we lose our ability to, we get stiff, bad necks and whatever. We can't look as far to the right. So what happens is people stop turning and it slows them down because they're sort of almost bracing for this impact.
Yeah, I can see how when you do like that, the club's slowing down because you're trying to keep your head here.
Yeah.
It's not allowing you to whip through and get the most distance.
Definitely. I think, keep your head down that's a golf tip from the 1600s, whenever golf was invented. It's a terrible bit of advice for generally everybody. What I try and encourage people to do, and actually something that you see Dustin Johnson do, is his eyes are ahead of the ball by the time he gets to impact. So he's looking over there when he's hitting it. And no, that doesn't affect, you can still play golf without looking at the ball somehow. I think getting your head turning and your eyes moving earlier allows you to swing through a little bit quicker. There's no restriction, and you can, speed is everything, for seniors. So